All my memories of love hang upon high stars. All the souls I've lost to tears now the autumn jars. And the air around me here thickens with their song. Sing again their nameless tunes, sing again and strong. Willows in September touch the water clear, set among the rushes tall of the flowing year. Rising up from sunlit paths comes the shadowed sun, running toward me silently, love to fortify. Many are the graceful hearts hung upon this tree, and it seems there's room for mine on these branches free. And the sky above the tree, whether wet or bright, is my ease and comforting, my good news and light.
Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Utica. I'm Roz Kearney, a member of the board. Whether you are visiting for the first time or have been a member for many years, you are welcome here. Whatever faiths you have known, if any, you are welcome here. Whoever you are and whomever you love, you are welcome here. We are invited to bring our whole selves to this worship service, our doubts as well as our convictions, the pain and joy we have known, our longing for connection and understanding. Every part of you is welcome here.
Call to Worship is written by Arlen Goff. Thresholds. We cross them every day. From room to room, from outside to inside and back again, from here to there, from anywhere to everywhere, from age to age. Each threshold provides an opportunity for change, for renewal, for transformation, from what we were and what we are to what we can be. In this hour and in this place, we cross a threshold from our day-to-day everydayness into space and time, attuned to the other, to the sacred, to the holy, into an awareness of new life, pregnant with possibilities. How will we be renewed in this moment? How will we be changed by this hour? How will we be transformed through this online gathering of beloved community? Come, you longing, thirsty souls. Come, let us worship together. Please remain muted and join in singing hymn number 18, What Wondrous Love.
What wondrous love is this, oh my soul, oh my soul? What wondrous love is this, oh my soul? What wondrous love is this that brings my heart such bliss and takes away the pain of my soul, and takes away the pain of my soul. When I was sinking down, sinking down, sinking down. When I was sinking down, sinking down. When I was sinking down beneath my sorrow's ground, friends to me gathered round. Oh my soul, friends to me gathered round. Oh my soul, to love and to all friends I will sing, I will sing. To love and to all friends I will sing. To love and to all friends who pain and sorrow met, with thanks unto the end I will sing, I will sing. With thanks unto the end I will sing. What wondrous love is this, oh my soul, oh my soul? What wondrous love is this, oh my soul? What wondrous love is this that brings my heart such bliss and takes away the pain of my soul, and takes away the pain of my soul.
Reverend Erin, you're muted.
Thank you. Our chalice lighting words are from Reverend Gordon McKeenan. Let there be light. Let it shine in dark places, in moments of pain, in times of grief, in the darkness of hatred, violence, oppression, where there is discouragement and despair. Wherever darkness is to be put to flight, Let there be light. Stephanie has a together time for us.
Hi everyone, welcome to Together Time. I have a good story for you today, and it's written by someone who you might recognize. The book is called I Promise, and it was written by LeBron James, who's a basketball player, and illustrated by Nina Mata. I promise. I promise to work hard and do what's right, to be a leader in this game of life. I promise to go to school and read as much as I can, to follow the rules and respect the game plan. I promise to run full court and show up each time, to get right back up and let my magic shine. I promise to be open and try new things and enjoy the happy that change can bring. I promise to wear a big smile and use kindness when I speak, to remain strong yet humble with every win and defeat. I promise to ask for help whenever I need it, to reach for my star even when I can't see it. I promise to ask questions and find answers, to believe in next time and second chances. I promise to use my voice and stand up for what's right, and when things get tough, to keep up the fight. I promise to stand tall, rise up, and give all that I've got, to throw the alley-oop and uplift others on the spot. I promise to respect my elders and peers the same, to leave new places better than I came. I promise to stay true, keep my head up, and never give up, no matter what. I promise to dream big and love bigger, to be a team player and a winner. I promise to cross bridges and break down walls, to rise with the sun and learn from the falls. I promise to be courageous, to be free, to strive for greatness. I promise to be me. And that's the end of our story here. So there's a little note from LeBron James here. It says, "The I Promise School was inspired by the big dreams of kids in my hometown and around the world. It is a place committed to helping them and their families reach their full potential. At the start of every school year, and repeated each morning, all students make a set of promises to themselves, just like those in this book. Setting goals, working hard, and holding yourself accountable are the first steps to success. We're excited to have you join this journey to achieve your goals. Here is our daily promise to get you started. Remember, nothing is given, everything is earned." And there are some promises over here about going to school and doing your best and being helpful and having fun. And that is the end. Are there any promises that you think you might add? What do you promise to do? You can think about it. You can leave us your promise in the comments. And that's all we have for today. Until next time, we'll see you later. Bye-bye.
Now we will practice community candles, which is an opportunity for the congregation to be with one another as we mark notable things happening in our lives. If you would like to light a candle where you are, please do so, and in frame if you would like. If you would like to briefly share about a significant event in your life and have me light a candle, please unmute yourself or type into the chat. You can also privately message me in the chat to light a candle in silence for you. I light this candle to mark change, to mark that things do not stay the same, and there is change that we hope to make happen in this world, in our support of human rights, of justice, of living into a world of love. And there is change that we dread that may be coming, and there is change that surprises us. It is a reality and a truth that the world is ever changing, as much as we wish it could stay the same. Let us step into change with hope for what may be, and with love for one another. And as always, our final candle. For everything that has remained unsaid, it too belongs in our hearts. It too is sacred. Our meditation this morning is by Rebecca C. Beckett Capola. On renewal of the self by letting go of expectation and judgment. Let go of the idea that you know what breathing should feel like. Just notice the breath as it moves in and out of the body. Let go of certainty. Be with the breath as it is. Allow openness. Allow curiosity. Notice the mind, each thought that arises. Allow openness. Don't judge your mind or your experience. Be loving in your curiosity about each thought. Let go of certainty. Let go of any idea about what you should be thinking, accepting your thoughts exactly as they are. Be with yourself as you are. Be curious about who you are. Love how you are in the world. Gently take a deep breath, maybe even a big sigh. Re-enter the present moment and the stream of your life.
This reading is from When Your Spirit Feels Dry and Dormant by Darcy Lane. A few years ago, a friend gave me an amaryllis bulb. Who knows how long it had sat in a box on a warehouse shelf before I put it in my window and watered it. Nothing happened. This poor thing went literally months without growing. A fingernail of green kept me hopeful, so I continued to care for it. Then all of a sudden, with no change in the care I was giving, it began rapidly growing what seemed like inches a day. A beautiful flower bloomed and then withered in its time. Long green leaves filled up my window long after the flower was gone. The following winter, I waited obediently for it to die back and flower again, but it never did. The lush greens enjoyed the sunny window, but it never flowered that year. Without a dormant period, the plant never flowers. I took it outside over the summer and waited as fall came for it to die back. The days got shorter and colder. Some nights neared freezing, but still no change. Finally, the first hard frosts came and I put it in the basement to force a dormant period. It was sad when I looked down there to get the snow shovels to see the green leaves looking wilty and desiccated until it died back to a brown husk. Finally, the alarm I had set on my calendar chimed and I was free to bring it back inside. It looked really dry and brown. A week went by, no change. Had I killed it? Finally, after 10 days, that fingernail of green peeked up like hope. The story of the amaryllis not only reminds us that renewal is possible, but that renewal is part of a cycle. Dormancy is not a disorder. Periods where we don't grow, don't flower, are inevitable parts of life, are necessary parts of life. As we rest and preserve our resources for the turning of the season.
We are not alone. We are together, supporting one another, nourishing one another, and reaching beyond into the world. Our congregation relies on donations from members to continue its mission to nurture spiritual community, honor diversity, and advocate for social justice. Please contribute online or mail a check to the church with plate in the memo line. We appreciate your generosity.
My life flows on in endless song above Earth's lamentation. I hear the real, the far off hymn that hails a new creation.
No storm can shake my little song, while to that rock I'm clinging, since love prevails in heaven and earth. How can I keep from singing?
While all the time
first I learned to love it. No storm can shake my inmost calm. I hear the music ringing. It sounds and echo in my soul. How can I keep from singing?
Our second reading is titled My Commitments to Myself by Laura Mancuso. I take care of myself first because I am deserving of exquisite care. I take care of myself to maintain the capacity to help others. I move and stretch my body every day. I spend time in nature, attuning my senses to the earth's wisdom. I ration my daily exposure to the news. I identify and access credible sources of information. I protect myself from becoming overwhelmed by information about the pandemic. I pace myself. I sit with the reality of uncertainty and impermanence and allow it to temper my desire for control. I listen without judgment to others' reactions, which may be different from mine. I forgive myself and others when stress brings out our shadow selves. I feel fear fully when I am fearful. I experience sadness fully when I am sad. I allow anger fully when I am angry. I relish joy fully when I am joyful. I seek out healthy pleasures and indulge in them without guilt. I remind myself that feelings are transient states that move through me. They do not last, and they do not define me, nor do my thoughts. I balance my drive for self-improvement with compassionate acceptance of myself as I am right now. I initiate contact with loved ones to let them know how I hold them in my heart. I seek out, with increased sensitivity, those who are the most vulnerable. If possible, I share my resources with those who need help to survive. When possible, I move away from people, situations, and experiences that do not serve my highest good. I strengthen my connection to my sources of spiritual strength so that I continue to be replenished. I acknowledge the nearness of death as a key motivator for living a full life. I pray for the suffering of all beings to cease. I grieve my losses and celebrate my successes. I remain open to new ways of being, surprising sources of joy, and unanticipated discoveries every day. I remember standing on a hill on a chilly morning of the fall, among those same kinds of plants that would have been on that hill in the middle of Iowa hundreds and thousands of years ago. And oh, so slowly, I watched the red-orange line of low flames move over the next hill. I watched the smoke rise and the fire creep along the earth, setting the plants ablaze as they prepared for the coming winter. This was no reason to mourn or worry. The plants needed the fire. They needed a time of rest. Their energy pulled back into their deep roots, encouraging them to delve even deeper to reach the nutrients. They needed the fire to clear away the plants that had grown too big, shading out the smaller, but the smaller just as crucial plants, which would then have space to thrive. They needed the fire to leave the ash of their leaves and stalks behind, putting that phosphorus and other nutrients back into the soil, feeding new growth. Like the amaryllis that must die back each year with the cold and dark if it has hope to bloom again. The prairie must know fire every few years to thrive. The cycles and seasons of the earth fall back, rest, revive. These serve as a reminder for our own lives. Fall is settling upon our valley with frost last weekend and the maple turning ablaze among the sea of green trees behind my home. The world around us is preparing to rest for a few months, and it is ready to rest. It has been a difficult year after all. Rest is necessary for renewal. And I believe that our bodies know this, know its importance, just as the maple tree flashes its colors as if changing into its pajamas before the sun dips so low in its daily trek across the sky that the tree will not feel its warmth. It prepares to rest, as if it knows the work ahead of it come spring, to put out new leaves and flowers and to stretch its branches even further outward into the world. Our bodies, too, tell us that it is time to rest. The sinking feeling, heavy eyelids, fuzzy thinking, that energy that dwindles as everything distracts us from what we believe we should be doing. And eventually, if we do not heed these signals from our bodies, they begin to shut down on their own, making productive activity nigh impossible. We push ourselves too hard sometimes, filled with the musts and the shoulds and the have-tos, feeling that pressure to be more and to do more, whether it comes from within or without does not matter. It is pressure. And while it may spring us into action, it is also heavy. Maybe we should teach ourselves to listen before it has become too much, before we reach the point that we have nothing left with which to keep going. This is me reminding you that you will feel better if you rest, just as the world rests. Please, attend to yourself, and not merely through distraction, as I know I am wont to do, but true rest, true retreat, the sinking back into safety and the things that truly nurture your body, your mind, your heart, and your soul. Take a moment to reflect, close your eyes if it helps, and feel yourself in a safe space where you are loved, whether it exists now or at some point in your past, or is an imagining that is deep enough to feel true. In this place, there are no worries, and your needs are met. See yourself doing something that you love to do, that fills your soul, that allows you to be renewed in energy. Yes, here you can take care of yourself and be renewed. Two and a half years ago, I was with many of you in the sanctuary of our church building, preaching for you for the first time. We were all filled with questions and wonderings and hope. What could be before us as I would join you as your minister? I was exhilarated and saw promise and potential in our relationship. With everything I knew at the time, and with everything you knew at the time, we had every reason to move forward with faith that it would work. And I came here planning to stay several years as your minister, building depth of relationship and nurturing the ways that we come together. And I said always that I would stay for as long as our relationship worked for the congregation and for me, for as long as our ministry together was truly effective. So know that the decision that I've made to resign has not come easily. It has broken my heart to tell you that I need to step away, because I love who you are, and I am inspired by the direction in which the congregation is moving forward. Your leaders, your blessed, courageous leaders, are opening up space for deep listening, and you are entering that space to bring your hearts and your ideas. And as a church, you are moving into a new phase of activism. And as you pursue it, know that you will change and shift, and you will grow into depth and new relationship. You and your leaders are delving into the hard questions about who you are as people and as a church. And this is challenging, sometimes heart-wrenching work, and I watch with joy. You're wrestling and considering and then acting. You give me hope. And there are things that have never quite meshed for us. We have cultural differences around communication that have not worked themselves out. You may remember a year and a half ago, the Committee on Ministry did a presentation about their role and different communication styles. I communicate directly, and the norm here is to communicate indirectly. In our time, we haven't been able to find a place in the middle. And despite my best efforts, I haven't quite been able to adapt to receiving indirect communication. I've felt often as though I'm ministering in a fog, unsure of what is happening, of which I am unaware. Who has concerns about my ministry but hasn't told me? What energy is there in the congregation that I can't sense? Is there unspoken support for my presence and work? The not knowing has enveloped me, and it has taken a serious toll. I need you to know that it has been so very hard for me to make this decision. Seeing your faces shows me the joy that we have shared, the times we have literally danced together and celebrated and brought our hopes into fruition. And I am worn down. I'm tired. I have not been able to find the way to renew the energy that it takes to be your minister. Today, in our consideration of the theme of renewal, I have uplifted promises. The promises that we make to ourselves, that I make to myself, to care for myself. And that need is so great right now. I need to be able to take care of myself, and I need the space to pull back and to do that work of reconnecting with a spiritual life, to reconnect with myself, with the sense of wisdom that I know is within and without all of us, but that I am too tired to hear. I hope that you will also think about the promises that you make for yourself and how you are going to take care of yourself. Because right now, the demands are greater than they've ever been. We are living into an unknown that we couldn't have imagined when everything is in flux. And there is so much push to do more, to be more. And some of that is legitimate. There is great need right now. And what promises do you make to yourself about how you're going to take care of yourself? What does rest look like? To be able to refill yourself in order to reemerge stronger with greater growth and life than ever before. We have all made promises to this congregation. We are indeed a covenanting faith, a faith that is about making promises to each other about how we are going to be with each other. And I promised to serve as your minister as best I could. And that makes it so hard for me in my decision, because I wish that promise could be in perpetuity. And I'm not able to be the best minister to you that I can in this tiredness, in my body and my soul. You also have made promises, those of you who are members of the church, and maybe those of you who aren't yet members. Promises to support one another, promises to the mission of the church, to nurture spiritual community, to honor diversity, to advocate for justice. I hope that as you take care of yourself first, as we all must do, as you get that sense of renewal through rest, as your energy is filled, that you will bring it into renewing your promises to the church. That you bring that energy here to one another, to shaping what the church is becoming and can become. There is so much promise there. And part of that promise, always feeling like it's lurching forward and not moving, is that we need all of you to bring your energy into the work. What do you love about the church? Now is the time to renew your commitment to that. To renew your commitment to making church happen. Finding the ways that you can get involved, whether it's leadership or saying, yes, I will help with this small thing because I can. Because you all need each other in that sense of commitment to one another to be able to move forward as a church. Renew your commitment to our greater world. Some of that is going to be able to happen through the church as the church lives into its mission, which is very exciting. And maybe you have your own passion in seeing what can be. And I encourage you to renew your commitment to that, to whatever thing it is that feels right, that's calling you and your energy and your body forward into making the world what we know it can be. It is the fall, and I am seeing the need for me to engage in a period of rest so that I can engage in new growth and new life. And I hope that you do that for yourself as well, and for this church, for where this church is going. Rest now and prepare. Renew your sense of commitments. And know, as I know more surely than anything, it will be okay. It will be okay. I see this congregation bursting forth with new life, putting out the shoots, ready to go, to be, to change the world with you, with your energy, your commitment, and your love. You are not alone. You are loved. May it be so, and amen. Please join in our closing hymn, Fire of Commitment.
From the light of days remembered burns a beacon bright and clear, guiding hands and hearts and spirits into faith set free from fear. When the fire of
Please join in reading the words for extinguishing our chalice. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we meet again. Our benediction is by Bill Hamilton Holley. If I were to wish you peace, it would not be for long. It would be peace to rest, to reflect, to make ready for the coming day, that the full force of your creativity and love might be released and shared. I do wish you peace. Amen.